YSI 2900 series biochemistry analyzers. Configuring your online monitor and control session. Configure the instrument with the necessary membranes, reagents, and buffers as described in other YSI videos. Calibrate the instrument, and then from the main screen, press Run. On the Run screen, press Monitor. To configure a monitoring session, press Configure. Press New, and type the name of your session. On the left-hand side of the screen, the antiseptic cycle is the time that the pump will run to pump antiseptic through the lines. The default setting is 30 seconds. This is adequate if the antiseptic solution, the bioreactor, and the 2900M are all side by side on the bench. This setting can be increased if you would like the pump to run longer. The purge time is the amount of time the pump runs to push the last sample through the lines before a new sample is taken. The default setting is 40 seconds and can be increased depending on the flow rate and the distance between the bioreactor, the Satini pumps, and the instrument. In most cases, an external filtrate pump will not be used, and the default settings of 2,000 microliters per minute and filtrate pump active high will not affect your monitoring session. The flow rate and the filtrate pump settings will only need to be changed if you are using an external filtrate pump. If you are, then the settings can be adjusted to accommodate different tubing widths and pumps. Next, select a channel. We'll select A. Select Edit Channel A. You can set up multiple channels with different parameters. The channels are routines that you can set up, save, and run at any time. In the Edit Channel A screen, select the chemistry or chemistries that you would like to monitor. For the 2900M, there is one module that can hold up to 2 compatible chemistries. For this setup, we will select glucose. Select the units for the measurement. If you would like the instrument to calibrate before each scheduled measurement, press the button next to the pre-cal setting to turn it on, and select the pre-cal time in minutes. The default setting is 10 minutes, meaning that the instrument will calibrate 10 minutes before each scheduled sample. When planning your sampling and calibration patterns, be sure to allow enough time for the calibration to run and the sampling to take place. An alternative to pre-cal is to use the instrument's auto-cal settings found from the main screen in the Settings section. And then, the Auto section. The auto-cal can be set to start after a certain amount of time or a certain number of samples. Next, set the interval for your monitoring measurements. The default interval is 30 minutes. The analog output, or DAC, is set to None by default. If you want an analog output signal, press the button next to DAC and select an output channel A or B. Select the button to the right of the DAC channel and select your full-scale voltage. This can be 5 volts or 10 volts. The concentration listed below the DAC channel is the DAC maximum. Set the DAC maximum to correspond with the maximum voltage. If you are controlling the bioreactor run, press the button next to Control Type and select PID or Threshold. The simplest controlling method is Threshold. This method is typically used to trigger an alarm. If you select Threshold, select a set point for the concentration at which you would like the instrument to send a signal. Select the error direction. If you select Under, the signal will be sent when the concentration of your sample is under the set point. Select Feed A or B, and select the output signal high or low. In this example, if your set point is 10 grams per liter, and your error direction is set to Under, then the YSI instrument will send out a signal when the glucose concentration in the bioreactor is under 10 grams per liter. If you select PID, specify a set point. We will use 1 gram per liter. Set the auto activation to On and set the percent next to the On-Off button. The percent and error direction will determine when the instrument starts running the control algorithm and when the instrument will send output signals. Select TPU. The TPU, or time per unit error, can be calculated manually or automatically. Select Automatic and enter the average reactor volume. We will use 5 liters. Enter the delivery rate for your feed pump. We will use 0.1 liters per minute. Enter the maximum rate of change you expect to see in your reactor. We will use 0.5 grams per liter. This represents the fastest rate you'd expect your cells to consume glucose in this case. The instrument will calculate your required minimum feedstock. In our example, it is 31.25 grams per liter. We will use 50 grams per liter. Press the button next to Feed Concentration and enter the actual value of 50 grams per liter. The calculated TPU will appear on the last line of the page. Ours is 60 seconds per gram per liter. Press Save, and the TPU now appears on your screen. Leave the error direction at under for this example using glucose. Press the button next to Feed Pump Line and select Output A or B. Select High or Low for your output signal. Press Save. Now your monitor and control routine is shown in Channel A. Press Save to save the configuration. Press Select to select the highlighted configuration. And press Start to start the monitoring and control session. Name the session. Press Done, and the session will begin. There is more information on monitoring and controlling in the manual.